Hey guys, today we are going to be doing review for our addition and subtraction with two-digit numbers. We are going to practice the three ways we have learned so far: base 10 blocks, number line, and standard algorithm, also known as old school. So I'm going to give you two problems for each type, and I'll show you in just a moment. So you need to get your whiteboard and a marker, or your math journal and pencil so that you can write down the problems and compute the answers. So I want you to pause the video and go ahead and get those items if you need them. Okay guys, so we're back. So I'm going to share my screen and you're going to see the problems. We have an addition problem and a subtraction problem. So always remember to look at your signs. Here we have plus sign and a minus sign, because on our test, you're going to have different types of problems, and they're not going to be in sections of just addition and just subtraction. All right, so for these base 10 problems, I've set up the hundreds charts to solve both of them. And so I want you to go ahead and pause the video, write down the problems and set up your charts and go ahead and solve them. When you come back, we are going to solve them and check them together. So go ahead and pause your video now. Okay guys, so we're back. So if we look at number one, we have 65 plus 23. So we are going to start out with our oops, sorry, I'm in the hundreds. We don't have any hundreds, do we? We're going to start out with our 6 tens for 65. There are 6 tens, and then we have 5 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, now we are adding on this time. You move it away from my face. We are adding on, and so we aren't marking out, so we need to leave space to put our 23. So 1, 2, tens, 1, 2, 3 ones, and then we are going to total them together. So here we have 5, 6, 7, 8. So we have 8 in the ones place. We have our 6 tens, 7, 8, 8 tens, no hundreds. So our answer is 88. Okay, if you found that difficult or needed to fix something, just pause the video and go back and fix it. Okay, so now we're going to do our subtraction problem, and we're actually going to mark out for this one. We do not have hundreds, so for our tens, I'm going to put 1, 2, I'll make it a little bigger actually so we can see where we're marking out. Fix that. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 for our 96, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ones. Now we need to take 7 ones, but we do not have 7 ones. We only have 6 ones. So we are going to break apart one of these tens. I'm going to mark it out because it's no longer a 10, and add the ones. If I go too fast for you, just pause it and catch up. Okay, so there are our 10 ones that came from that 10. All right, so now we can take away 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We are left these these ones right here. Okay, but we still, I'll move this up a little bit, down at the edge. We still need to take away our 4 tens. We're not finished there. So we'll take away 1, 2, 3, 4, and we have 4 tens left over. And we have 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9 ones. So our answer is 47. Okay, so if you have an issue with that, you need to go back and check. Just pause the video and go back and check. Okay, and then, oopsies. So then I'm going to set up, I'm going to pause the video and set up for our number line problems. You may want to go ahead and write a number line in your journal or on your on your whiteboard so you be ready. Okay, guys, we're back and we are going to start our number line problems. So I'm going to share my screen so you can see. All right, let me turn it so you can see them a little better. So here are two problems. Our first one is addition. Our second one is subtraction. I drew our number line, a number line under each. Now, on the subtraction, you may want to count up or you may want to count back. It's up to you. So go ahead and pause the video, and I want you to write down the problem, set up your number lines, and solve them, and then check back, and we will solve them together if you have not, or check over them. Okay, guys, we're back, and I'm going to share my screen and show a way to do each of these problems. You may have done them slightly differently. We just want to end up with the same answer. So right here on the number line at the top, I'm going to cover up this bottom part so that it's, we're not distracted by it. Okay, so with 59 plus 36, I started at 59. Now I started there, sorry, that looks a little like a 6, because it is the bigger of the two numbers. And because it's addition, we can change them around and have turnaround facts. So I went up to the next number. I decided to add the ones, and I went up to the next number that ended in a 5 or a 0, and it would be 60. 60 is only 1 away from 59, so I thought, okay, if I take 1 of the 6, I have 5 more I need to go up. So I went up 5 after that and ended on 65. Now I'm going to add my tens. 30 has 3 tens, so 1 10, 2 tens, 3 tens. When I go back to the 65, I add 10, I end up at 75. Plus 10 is 85. Plus 10 equals 95. So 95 is our answer. As I said, you may have done it differently, but you need to end up on 95. That's the goal. Okay, so let's look at the subtraction problem. I'm going to move it up here. So in the subtraction problem, I decided to count up. You may have counted back, but I'm going to count up here because we're looking for the missing part from between 39 and 82. So I'm going to start with the part that we have, which is 39. Once again, I am going to go up to the next number that ends in a 5 or a 0, just because it's easier to count by tens after that if we're going up tens. Now, in this case, we're not going up a certain number. We are going up to the 82 to find out the other part. So our goal here is just to go from 39 to 82. So I went up to the next 10, and that took 1 to get to 40. Then I knew I could go up lots of tens to get to 82. So I counted them separately, though, just to show you. So I could go up another 10 to 50, another 10 to 60, another 10 to 70, and even another 10 up to 80. Now I'm going to 82, so then I need to add 2 more to get to 82. But 82 is not our answer. Our answer is the amount that we went up. Here I circled in red. So we need to add those together. We have the 1 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 2. Now you can probably do those mentally, but I wanted to kind of spell it out here. So that's the 1 plus all these 10s, 10, 20, 30, 40, plus the 2 equals 43. So your answer, however you broke it apart, or even if you went backwards, should be 43. Now, I want to talk about explaining answers in words, because when we explain it in words, sometimes we're not quite sure what to do. We can do it on paper, but we're not sure how to explain it with actual words. So I'm going to erase this bottom one, and I'm going to show you how to explain. Sorry, it's got a little messy there. How to explain the first one in words. So going back here to our addition number line. So basically, you're just going to take the steps you did and write them out. So let's say to add, because we are adding. To add 59 plus 36. I started with 59. And you might want to put because it is the bigger number. That's a great detail to add in there. But you at least need to put that you started with 59. I counted up and I'm just going to edit here a total of 6 ones and 3 tens. I landed on 95. So that kind of, it puts it in less words than it at every single step you take, because I don't want you to have to write out everything. If it's easier to say, I added on 1, I added on 5, I added on 10, 10. But otherwise, you can just put the total, because we just want to know that you know where to start, you know what to do next, and you know how you got the answer at the end you got. So in this case, I said to add 59 plus 36. I started with 59. I counted up a total of 6 ones and 3 tens. That way I'm showing I know what 36 means. I landed on 95, or my answer was 95. Okay, great. So it's very basic. Don't overthink it. Okay, so we're going to move on now to standard algorithm, to old school, for our next 2 problems. Okay, so I'm going to pause the video and set those up. And you could pause the video before, of course, and rewind to. Okay, guys, we are going to move on to our old school or standard algorithm. So I'm going to share my screen, and here are 2 problems. We have our addition problem and our subtraction problem. So once you go ahead and pause the video, solve those problems on your own, and then check back, restart it to check your answers. So go ahead and pause now. Okay, if we're back, we're going to solve these together. So we have 23 plus 78. So 3 plus 8 is more than 10. So we can't put the answer down here because we can only put one number in each place value. And it may help you to just draw the line in between to make sure you remember that, to separate the ones and the tens. So 8 plus 3, well, we can count up from 8 or we know to make it 10, 3 is 2 plus 1 because we need 8 plus 2 to make it 10. So our answer either way is 11. 11 has 1 10, oh, excuse me, 1 1 and 1 10. So I'm going to put the 10 up there. So 11 has 1 10 and 1 1. So this 10 is over in the tens place. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 7 is 10. Well, we can't put that in the ones place either. So we actually need a hundredths place. So 10 has a 0 in the ones place. You can add that 100 over there, the hundreds, and your answer would actually end up 101. Ooh. So 101 in that case, because we did end up with tens more than 10. All right, so over here, 254 minus 46. Remember, minus, we are subtracting. So here, we have 4 ones in 54, but we're trying to take away 6 ones. We don't have enough ones. So what are we going to do? Just like with base 10, we are going to go over to the tens and get a 10. So if we take 1 away from there, we're going to end up with how many? 4. 4 tens left. And that 10, we are going to break apart into 10 ones, regroup it into ones, and then we have 10, just going to make a note over here, 10 ones plus 4 ones. So we actually end up with 14 ones. Now we subtract. 14 minus 6 equals 8. 4 tens minus 4 tens equals 0. So you could either put the 0 there, you really don't need to put anything at all. So, but your answer here is 8. And I did a couple of trickier ones here with the addition and the subtraction, because sometimes we see these problems and we're not quite sure what to do with the other, with the 10 tens, the 100, or when we have a 0 for the answer. So I wanted to show you those. So if you were explaining this in words, once again, you could just say, let's do the subtraction. Let's say, I made a 10, or I regrouped, excuse me, I shouldn't say that because we're not adding. I regrouped a 10 to make 10 ones. I added them to the 4 ones. Then I subtracted the 6 ones from 46, or actually I should say in 46 because you're not subtracting them from 46, in 46, and the 4 tens in 46. It's a little wordy there, but so you regrouped a 10 to make 10 ones right here, and I added the ones to the 4 ones I already had. Then I subtracted the 6 ones then in 46. Then I subtracted the 4 tens in 46. You probably might want to put in there that it left you with 4 tens also. So there we go. So I added them. I made 10 ones. That left me with 4 tens. And that would be explaining it in words. So If you have any questions, just pause and go back and look at the video and practice some on your own and see how they go and have someone check them at home. And you'll be ready for your quiz tomorrow. I know you're going to do great. So I'll see you tomorrow for your test. Bye, guys. Good work.